Hey guys, it's Quana back again for another Thursday night watch party. Welcome to Throwback Thursdays, where we go back in time, revisit some of our youthful days, and revisit a classic film. And today, somebody might not consider 1995 an era of classic films, but I think of some of the best in CGI and graphics and cinematography that came out in the 90s. And so this is definitely one of those films that is near and dear to my heart. It is 1995's Jumanji, starring the legend himself, Robin Williams. And we are watching it tonight. So hopefully you have the movie and access to the movie. It is playing for free on YouTube, where you can watch it if you don't have access anywhere else. But you can also watch it on Hulu. You can watch it on Disney Plus. You can watch it on Amazon Prime. It is streaming in so many places, and so hopefully you guys will have access to that. And hopefully my woof will not be cutting up this evening. So first and foremost, hello, Mom. Am I coming in clear? So that is your call to let me know if I am coming in clear for you where you are, so that I can know how things are going. And always first in the evening, thank you so much, Darfalina. For those of you who don't know, I'm Quana. My friends call me Q. You can too. And we just like to watch good movies over here, talk about television shows, things of that nature. Have I considered doing these on Twitch so we don't have to sync up? I have considered it. Now that we are in the summertime, I'm going to be exploring some options. During the school year, I'm going to tell you what, it is a miracle that I can even get on here. Maxine, it's okay. Maxine Shaw, attorney at law, it is okay. You were like, I didn't even say hey first. Like, I didn't even say hi, dog, kiss my butt. That's what my mama would say, or nothing. But it's okay. I know your heart friend. I have considered doing these on Twitch or either on Discord. I'm going to be looking into that during the school year. I am lucky to be getting on here, to be honest with you, between these 3 kids and the husband and once upon a time the dog, but now the dog is in doggy heaven. But I am going to be looking into that, and hopefully within the next week or so, because I'll be on vacation and just doing mommy summer camp, I will have some time to fully flesh out a better platform than this, because you are 100% correct that it is difficult. It is difficult doing this on here, and so I'm going to be looking into probably Twitch. Would be the easiest, but I know that not everyone is familiar with Twitch as a platform. So I'm gonna be kind of just doing some. I have that on my list. It's one of the very first things I'm doing on my first day of sitting down in this seat and planning some stuff out, is either looking at what's the best platform for us to do. And I'll probably be also starting a Discord just so that the conversation can keep going behind the scenes as well. You said fair enough. There you go. But I got you. And I wrote it down. I took notes. Okay. You said, okay, speak when you come in this house. Okay, don't the black mama tell you that? We'll tell you that in a second. You better speak when you walk into the house. Is Twitch something accessible from a tablet or a phone? I want to say it's both, but I am 100% going to be doing my homework, because I've watched Twitch streamers who simulcast their content onto YouTube, and I think Twitch is a little bit easier with the paywall and being able to actually have the movies going. But I guess there's a way that they do it where if they know that it's copyright content, they don't put that on the YouTube as well. But I think that they are both accessible from tablet, from PC, and from phone. So we'll do some reconnaissance, and we'll do some play. We'll practice. We'll practice it. Okay. Most definitely. And of course, last night was an absolute blast. On Wednesday, we watched Night of the Living Dead, and that was a public domain film, so I was able to broadcast that. Quick story time before we get started with Jumanji. I ended up getting 2 copyright strikes off of that public domain movie. Now, it was for the music. So if you go back and rewatch, there's like 2 small scenes where there is music in the original. And I had to like go in and edit for YouTube to like remove the music, but keep the speaking parts in there in order to be able to keep that video up, even though the movie itself is public domain. Now, I could have like just disputed it and like went behind the scenes and like said, hey, no, flag on the play. You being mad foul right now because this is public domain. It is free literally everywhere. I don't understand. But I was not trying to go through that hassle. So there's 2 scenes where there was music and I just took it out because I was like, I'm not about to fight with y'all about this music from 1968. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. So I'll leave chat on my phone, seeing TV while I cook. So maybe y'all can, while I cook, so y'all may be quiet for a while. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. And look, when I tell you I was running, I was cooking, and we do 2 dinners sometimes because the kids don't quite have the sophisticated palate for shrimp yet. So they had breakfast for dinner and they had pancakes and eggs and all like the little, basic stuff. And I was making shrimp and grits, and I just had enough time to like plate it for the grown people. And I was like, I'm taking my shrimp and grits. So I understand completely. But yeah, we will try to do some more of the public domain movies, but like I anticipate by next week, I will have a new platform for our watch alongs because I want to be able to have y'all interact and engage. I know Discord can be good because then you can like chime in, things like that, but I got to play around with that because I like to think I'm tech savvy. I'm baby tech savvy, but I'm a fast learner. I just have to have the time to sit down and actually learn and do all the things. But yeah. So a couple of quick housekeeping for anybody who comes in later and watches this on the replay. Again, welcome. We are watching Jumanji. You can find it available on the YouTube, and it is free there, but also it's streaming almost everywhere if you pay for the service. So you can probably watch it ad-free. If you are on YouTube and you want to install something like a Pi so that you don't get any ads, you can do that. Oh, speaking of which, let me make sure I'm not messing y'all up on the live stream. Okay, there we go. Ashley is good with Discord, and I'm gonna be reaching out to Ashley. I'm gonna be bugging Ashley. She gonna be like, well, I wish this heifer would go get a job because I don't get a chance to bug her and Tyra like that. If y'all are watching the replay, Tyra is Struggle Reviews TV, and Ashley is My Soup Perspective, and I collab with them a lot. They invite me into their space a lot, and I really love them and appreciate them for that. And so I don't really get a chance to bug them, and they throw out something. They say, hey girl, you got Monday nights for this? And I'll be like, okay. And then I go tell the family, look, we better eat this dinner between 6 to 7:15 because I got to go. But I will probably be bugging her this summer because I'm completely not working this summer. I'm teacher off duty except for the 2 hours that I'll be forcing my kids to do summer learning, and they won't be happy with me at all about that. But it is what it is. Y'all decide y'all want to be grown and go to middle school. We got to make sure you're ready. So, but I will definitely be bugging her and asking her for help and just getting my feels around. Okay. I did want to make an announcement, guys. We are closer and closer to 2K over here after eons and eons. We are 64 subscribers away from 2K. So please share out the live, share out the channel. Let let people know, like, look, I am not the most sophisticated, of critics. I may just be, a little gal from the Carolinas, but I'm a teacher. I'm a hardworking mama, and we will support teachers, support moms, support women. So hey, if you want to share out someone who has like another perspective, sometimes, then certainly do that. And yes, we're gonna keep them heads in the books, and we're gonna be doing. I promise you, definitely, I'm gonna be announcing by the end of next week our first read along. Okay, our first read along, so that way everybody can go ahead and order their books. We do. I might be flipping the script on us a little bit though, because there's a show that's coming out and I don't want to watch the show. I guess I could talk about it real quick. It's called Washington Black. It stars Sterling K. Brown. I have not read the book. The book came out like 6 years ago. I haven't read it. It's by a Canadian author, and it's kind of got like a little bit of magical realism going on. And I low-key want to read the book before I watch the show. So I might go ahead and have us do that, and then have us go into the long walk. The long walk will be really fast. We could literally read the long walk like the September before the movie comes out in October. So Washington Black comes out the end of June or beginning of July. So we might do that first. Also, I haven't looked around in a few days. Are you interested in Bring Her Back or too much hype? I went to the movies today. I was going to go watch Bring Her Back, but I think Sinners is getting ready to leave the theater, and I couldn't resist the temptation. So I went to go see Sinners again. I have a couple of screenings to go to next week, but if I get the opportunity to go solo dolo between now and then, I am going to watch Bring Her Back. I heard that I've heard from all of the crew online who are like in the thick of like horror movies, it is scary. So I will be going with like something to squeeze. Especially if I have to go by myself, I will be going full daylight with something to hold on to. But I went to go see Sinners again. I cried, y'all. I cried. I was not expecting it. They started playing Last Time I See the Sun, and I was sitting there and I was like, why? I felt like Chandra Wilson on Grey's Anatomy telling myself, the ceiling is leaking and it's not the ceiling, you're crying. So I went to go see it again. We are weak for that movie. I'm not mad. Yes, I need to see Sinners. Yes. I mean, I took so many notes. I was the only person in the theater. I went at 12:05. I was the only person in the theater. So I had my phone out for this time and I was taking notes. It was like full on lesson at school. But I do think I am going to see Bring Her Back. Okay, I'm just old enough to remember Blair Witch hype, and I hope it's not that. I hope it's not that either, because Blair Witch, the hype was hyping, and I went to go see that, and I was like, I mean, it ain't bad. It didn't help that them fools showed up at the MTV Movie Awards. We were still thinking it was real, and they popped up at the MTV Awards like, hey, y'all. Hey. Pause for a moment. Sir, Mr. Sir, in my bathroom, can you please close the door? I don't know why my son, when he comes in my bathroom to brush his teeth, he always decides he wants to leave the door. But we don't want to hear your water running. All right. So let's go ahead. Look, I don't know if that happened was about the MTV Awards or me yelling at my son, but I'm pretty sure it could go for both. All right, but let's go ahead and get into Jumanji, because this is a little bit longer than the normal movies. Okay, so hopefully everybody's queued up. Friend Maxine, I know you cooking, girl. It's okay. You can't, you just pop in when you can. Let us know that you're still here. Okay, we love you. I wish. And look, before you look, let me know what you're cooking. That's gonna really be That's going to really determine whether we let you cook or not. And then don't let it be something good, because then we're gonna be mad that you didn't invite us over. Okay. You said fair, okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Oh, to my niece who's probably watching and is also doing her homework. Hello, niece, who's probably watching and doing homework. Oh, child, wait a second. Y'all see this? This child says she's salmon, wild rice, veggies, cucumber, broccoli, probably still decided on sides. Why didn't I make some salmon? I ain't even I think about salmon. That sounds good to me. Okay, you might have just gave that might be Saturday dinner. I appreciate it. Appreciate the help. Thank you. Oh, hello, niece. Hair by Nay. Hair by Nay is my niece, y'all. All right, let's go ahead and start this movie before I cut up too bad. We got our little logo going. TriStar. I'm trying to think of what movie do I associate with TriStar the most, because I feel like we haven't watched a TriStar movie in a minute. Okay. Okay, title card in the first literal 30 seconds. Okay, this better be up north, 1869. I mean, I know we were free by then, but I hope they don't have no southern accent, so I'm assuming that this is in the north. This is some New England type mess going on. See, people don't ever want to finish what they start. And he's so serious. He's saying, may God have mercy on his soul. I hate what ended up becoming of Kirstie Alley, but when I tell you how much I love Look Who's Talking and Look Who's Talking To, when I tell you how much I love that movie, oh my gosh. That's a good one. How y'all gonna be terrorizing Alan? Don't y'all know his daddy runs things? This is giving some It, Deary kind of energy, ain't it though? Look, bad behind kids. No, they need a spanking. Them kids were not playing the long game with Alan and his long money. Okay. His dad could have tried to do something though. Seriously. Well, then get the boys some boxing lessons. Dang. And you gonna fire him over that? It was an accident. Don't get that man fired. And he sat there and watched it. Boy, you were 10. Oh, and then y'all gonna steal his bike? And them grown behind people in the background. Watch that little boy get his behind tagged and didn't do nothing. That's some shady mess. What Pops say to Craig? We fought, we were mad, we fought with our hands. But we lived, son. We lived. We lived to fight another day. Note to self, teach the children that if they hear strange drumming sound coming from inside the ground, run the opposite way. A piece of spice went down to the wrong way. And I was like, oh my. I'm good though. I guess you can tell them kids I said hey. I never peeped that black man in the background. I never spotted that black man in the background. That black man was looking like, what is this little boy doing? This don't seem right. That is a beautiful board game, though. That is an absolutely stunning board game. Why you tell me that? Why are you going to tell me not only are you making salmon, but you're making various salmon as well? I thought we were friends. I thought we were friends. It's so pretty. It's such, oh my gosh. Like they put labor into that. They spent money to have that made. Not that baby sitting at that table with all them daggone empty chairs. This is wild. Like, read the room. It's wild. So wild that you said thank you to your son. Said thank you to your son for standing up for himself against a group of bullies by saying, I'm sending him away. That's a wild note to leave your kid alone on. Leaving them alone in a house by themselves. Because you got to go give a speech. Okay. Leave the world behind. You roll the dice. Don't pick up. Don't pick up the dice, Sarah. You better run. I don't mess around with no bats. I don't mess around with no bats. I'll tell you what, 10 years ago, I went outside to go check them out at my house, and a bat tried to flew in my face. And when I closed the door, it got stuck underneath the door. That bat almost had my whole house. I ran out the back door with my baby in the car seat, and my dog ran right with me, and that bat almost had my house. Dang. He really remembered the time disintegrated into that board game. That effect still holds up. Now they should have not done the close up of the bat's face because that was a little too animatronic. But the bats, other than that, yes, I understand. 26 years later. Now, the most unrealistic part of this is that they expected us to believe that Robin Williams, when he comes out of the board game, is only like 36. You know, we don't give Kirsten Dunst enough credit for being a child star that did not go rogue. We really don't give her enough credit for that. I mean, think about just the 90s alone. Little Women, Interview with the Vampire, Jumanji. Like, girl was booked and busy. I'm gonna give him 38, but yeah, he don't look a day younger than 48. But he was raised in the jungle. That, you know what? That's an acceptable hard. That's an acceptable hard 48 right there. He said, I just realized she wanted to make a bed and breakfast. I was wondering for all those years why she needed that big house. That would make a gorgeous bread and breakfast, though, I must say. Oh, Peter. You you gonna move these kids into this dusty behind house and not even like have some people come in and clean first? That's a rough life. You said stress of the jungle, whatnot. Okay, that was it was a load. It took a toll on him. She said they'll leave the light on. Okay. So young Peter was the voice of Chip in Beauty and the Beast, and he was in The Borrowers and The Undercover Kid, or How I Saved the President. Um, he did a lot of voice work. He did a lot of voice work. Yeah, a lot of voice work. You said, I said Disney in the beginning, and I still chose something with ads syncing back up on the app now, shaking my head. Oh, um, young Alan was in Little Man Tate, The Ice Storm, Halloween H2O, 20 years later. Um, oh, and he was in NYPD Blue. You said all set, good stuff. Like, how's she going to just accuse the child of lying before she even investigated it? And did you even get the little girl some therapy for her parents dying? But you buying a house to start a bed and breakfast. How does that work out? Aww. She loves her little brother so much. You don't hear the drumming? I like that little beret she has on. It's cute though. I hate, don't let somebody be around me and you act like you don't hear strange noises and I hear the strange noises. We can't be cool no more after that. There's a lot of cool looking stuff in that attic. Yes. She said, well, she got two kids to raise out of nowhere. They got to eat. I mean, I guess I'm gonna give Nora a little bit of slack, just that much. It's not like she had kids and got more kids. Mama was trying to live her best bougie auntie life than tragedy struck. She was trying to be the rich auntie, and now she don't know how to discipline these little bad behind kids over here messing with stuff. They hear drums coming out of the thing and they still messing with it. She was quick with that racket though. Come on, Peter, open your mouth and talk. This will not be an easy mission. Monkeys slow the expedition. Those the same bugs from the mist. Okay. Oh my word. Wasting all that good raisin bran. Wasting this woman's good food. Oh, demon monkeys. Those are some demon monkeys. Goodness. Okay. Judy, like, you're not about to have me out here stressed. I'm gonna move post haste. Things are sharp. I can't remember. What is this? Oh, shook it, shook. It's Mufasa. Mufasa. Woo! It just tingles me. Oh, look at poor Alan. He had them thighs out, y'all. He had them thighs out in 95. He was doing them squats. Oh, I love a well thought out movie, y'all. I never paid attention and noticed the watch. Imagine you come home from a long day of trying to support kids you didn't ask for to find out a lion done run through your whole house. I'd be like, somebody come get these kids and this house. Look at all the cobwebs and stuff. The production team were doing their big one on this. Oh my gosh. I love it. Ooh, y'all, I'm so sorry. My internet went out for a second. I don't know what's going on. Um, mhm. Y'all, Roger Ebert, who I like a lot of his takes, but not all of his takes. He gave the film a 1.5 stars, said he felt the story was lacking and that it would traumatize young children, and said it should have been rated PG-13. Absolutely. How the monkey learn how to drive? Mm. The town has been going to crap since he been gone. Lord. Mm. And that's where she wanted to set up a bed and breakfast? I mean, I mean, production. Because either they filmed the beginning at the end and they found this factory like this and then they fixed it up, or like what did you do? What was the magic that you did? Because these are not the same places. Oh, oh, he should have showed him. Oh, oh, she went right after her husband. He said, "Will you stop your lying?" Dang. The car, get in the car. Mm. That is a daggone knife attached to that bug. He been stuck in a game for 26 years. He can really try to drive. There you go, Peter. Good job. He tearing up everybody's mailboxes. The tropic port aboard the tiny ship. The first mate was a sailing man, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers sit so that day on 3 hour tour, a 3 hour tour. The tiny ship was getting tossed. Sorry, reliving Gilligan's Island heydays. Now him eating apples off of the floor. Oh, I love this part of the movie when they realize that they have to get Sarah to play too. Sarah Whittle. Yes. It's so satisfying the way he says it. And this house that they're using right here, it looks so familiar. And I'm trying to think what movie I'm thinking that it was in. I feel like they used this house in Now and Then, but I'm not sure. Or just a house similar to it, I guess. Look at how he's looking at her. And drop. Not they kidnapped this woman. Not they kidnapped this woman. Okay, can I just say this? I love how 90s her outfit is. She played neurotic and anxious so well. She really did. And it's just such a nice little touch with like the one little braid hanging right there. And then the French bangs with the French braid going back. It's I low key, I miss the 90s. I miss the 90s so bad. 90s was such a nice blend of like 70s, grunge. It was just like a nice eclectic mix of all of the things. It was so good. Look at Peter. Peter is smirking. He is a little evil behind. Maybe y'all should leave the room. I always wondered that. Like, don't like it. They shoot poisonous darts. Don't you think that you should just leave the room? Feed me, Seymour. Feed me. Yes, everything was thriving in the 90s, man. Culture was popping off the chain. I had some of my best hairstyles in the 90s. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me. And I forget that David Allen Greer was in this movie. It was so good in it. I always just think of him as someone who belongs to just the black community and black movies. Like he had his moments. Combat boots and dresses, baby doll dresses with the flowers and the white shirt underneath with the combat boots. It was everything. You said, okay, now when did Stephen King write The Mist? Because there have been three similarities so far. He wrote The Mist like way back in the 80s, but I think the book for this was written in The Game is Not Over Yet, Sarah. The book came out in 1981. And the novella came out for The Mist came out in 1980. Oh, this is a great allegory for trauma and how like people each go through trauma and sometimes you don't see their trauma as being significant. He also has to realize like they did not understand the rules of the game in 26 years ago. Rolling with the homies. I don't know why that just popped in my head. Hunter from the dark. Swap. Very true on trauma. And my bad, I don't think I'm supposed to use the word neurotic anymore. Listen, it's okay. We slip up. We slip up. I sometimes I'm like, okay, what you know. And if you don't be around people and you just be in your own little lane, you don't know the words that come in and out, or the words that like we've processed beyond, because they're not in our common language. Now, this is my favorite part. It was because of watching video essays that I never put it together that Samuel Parrish and Van Pelt were the same actor. And there will be somebody watching this in the replay who won't have known that Samuel Van Pelt and Alan are the same character. You know what? I'm gonna basically say this. We were talking about the 90s. That was my most fashionable era. I think we need to roll it back. So that's funny. I'm dead. I'm so serious. Hold under when put would be a blunder. I just forgot what was about to happen, and then I just remembered just now. Oh, look at all those beautiful books. I love the way he says it. Run. It's a stampede. It's like he gets a little country right for a second. Zig and zag, y'all. Zig and zag. Yes, zig and zag. Don't run straight. They better finish this game. This town's going to be thinking that they're crazy. They don't even have that many elephants at the zoo. Ah! Why Libras got to get shots? Why we got to get a shot at? That was a good accent she put on. I'm sorry, do you have the wrong number? She did a good job with that one. I still remember seeing this in theaters. It was an experience. I think I saw this in the theater, but I can't be 100% because I'm almost 100% positive that I probably rented it from the movie store at least 5 or more times. Yeah, I wore this VHS out. Definitely VHS for me. Yes. Like I know Video Wiz hated to see me coming. Okay. Video Wiz hated to see me coming because we were gonna get that 5 for 5. I'm almost positive I rented it when it was new release, and then when it went out of the new release, and you could get it for the 5 for 5, 5 movies for 5 nights for $5. Was it not? Was it $5? I know it was 5 movies, 5 nights. I don't know if it was $5, but it was 5 movies, 5 nights. The new current generation, they will never know. Like going First of all, how going to the video store was an event because it was going to take you 30 minutes or more to pick out your movies. If you were only getting one, definitely. But if you were getting like 5 movies, it would still be an effort. Yeah, don't be sitting here smirking after you was talking about some why you didn't grab the game, Peter. Peter is a whole kid. You acting like he was supposed to know to grab the game. He ain't know that daggone bird was going to snatch the game up. I ain't like when he said that to Peter, doing my boy Peter like that. That house is toe up. Oh, Alan is being like his dad. Oh, come on now. Come on now. Peter. Once you have him been broken, you'll slip back even more than your token. Them are bad behind monkeys. And of course, they will be watching the Wizard of Oz. Uh-uh. You still got my little adult beverage for the rest of the film. Okay, I ain't mad. I ain't mad. It's me, Alan. What did Robert Ebert say about when they made Peter into the little monkey wolf man boy? He's so cute. And we always thought that Peter was cute as little wolf man boy. Hold on one second, y'all. Okay, I'm back. Sir Save a Lot. They done found them a little off-brand Walmart. You said that was cute, but that car would be flat as a penny if two elephants stomped on it. Peter, Peter was almost lost his life right there. For real. No sale. Yeah, now you don't do the keys. Oh no. What did the mannequins do to you? I mean, what kind of classes has Peter been taking? He went to the school of Kevin McAllister, apparently. Not the monkey's got a gun, y'all. Oh my goodness, he's such a good comedic actor in this. And to think to hire him for this role is like I would have never thought Jonathan Hyde for this role. I guess he wasn't Richie Rich, so I can't forget about that. Hit the brakes, hit the brakes. It's a lot of paint cans. Now he gonna be mad at Peter for cheating. Loved him as the butler in Richie Rich. You know what? That that and Titanic are probably the roles, other than the Mummy, that I associate with him the most. Now I can't help but wonder. I know they never would, but instead of all of these remakes using technology when you can to kind of slightly enhance movies, like if they could go back and maybe like re-edit that scene right there to where the animal stampede looks more realistic, that would be amazing. Because those roads would be tore up. So think about how tore up the roads get from the winter time and trucks. It would be done for. Stop being your dad. Yeah, you becoming your father. Like, oop, toxic masculinity. Mm. Put that on a mug. 26 years buried in the deepest, darkest jungle, and I still became my father. Low key, what came out? What else came out in 95? This was the 10th highest grossing film in 1995. I'm getting mad because of the production design of this is good. Restoration won best production design. Well, I guess it was called best art direction in 95. And it went that year. Well, I guess we would look at the year before to the English Patient. And I'm not going to say that I hadn't seen the English Patient, and I don't know when, but it wasn't even up for an award. Okay, there might be some good. There might have been some good nominees. But this was good. There will be a monsoon. Hmm. It always kills me how long they take to roll the dice. Like, Boo Boo is carrying a flag. Go ahead and the next person go. Okay, there's a monsoon. There's a lion in the house somewhere. Yeah, you wanted to say a little rain would never hurt nobody. This is amazing to me. Showgirls to Die For and Jumanji are probably the top movies from 1995 that I was obsessed with even back then. Um, to Die For. Is that the Nicole Kidman movie? I remember that. I think I watched that movie a lot. I don't remember as much now, but I think in 95 I did watch it a lot. Okay, yep. She was a news anchor. I remember. Oh no, get Peter! Somebody get Peter! Good thing he had that tail. Not you about to, not you about to wrestle an alligator. Okay, I would say out of the 1995 movies that I was like absolutely kind of like obsessed with. Um, I almost want to say Casper because something about when he says, "Can I keep you?" When he asks her, "Can he keep her?" Casper, Sense and Sensibility, Clueless, and Jumanji. Those are probably my four. The summer that Clueless finally hit, like TV, like HBO. Oh my gosh, I was obsessed with that movie. Uh-huh. Yep, yep. Same year because I was obsessed with Jagged Little Pill. I was obsessed with Jagged Little Pill that summer and Clueless all summer long. Jagged Little Pill and Clueless. And someone asked on TikTok today, like, for people to say, like, had they did they know who Alanis Morissette was, where they were from, and their age? And I was like, immediately yes, immediately yes. I could sing that whole album probably. That's such a funny joke. Colonel Mustard in the library with a wrench because Clue is timeless. Everybody knows Clue. Seven. Oh, he's so close. On which you stand. The floor is quicker than the sand. Quicksand. Now, this is one of the few CGI effects that is a little. He's a little wavy looking. Lesson. Learn. Sometimes you must go back a turn. Oh, you just wait. We out. We each ate. Daggone Eric. I'm sorry. It's coming to my mind now. Another similarity to the mist. Okay, with these bugs, and the bugs look crazy fake. I think that's why I'm so reluctant to watch the remakes, because this was such a family movie, and then to do a remake with adults and not have kids as like prominent actors in it, it was just such a disservice to the franchise, because it should have never been like, okay, fine, fine if you were going to do um Lord, who was in that movie? Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, Karen Gillian. But no, no. And I get that they were all like high school students playing as adults, but even in some video games you have like kid characters. So I like how soft her voice goes right there. And I meant to laugh about the fact that he grabbed the axe and then was like, wait. It's so cute how they acting like that flimsy door could really hold a lion in the room. Come on, production. Like, I know the outside of the house, that part is fake, but definitely they would have had like two fake portions of floor and then like on some kind of like, come on. And I get this is owned by TriStar. Well, I don't know who actually owns it now, but like, if they don't have this at Universal Studios, what are you even doing with your life? Like, yeah, no, I'm sorry. And you know who they should have got? problems. Taste what you're afraid of. I can't believe as a kid I never picked up on that. That's his dad. Aww. And I just realized, hey, Gory Tiger, we were watching Jumanji. So if you didn't get a chance to watch it with us, definitely go back and watch it tonight. It was a really good rewatch. I didn't even mention the fact that they kept the costume design similar with her in the blue headband, the flower top. She had the flower dress on, him with the plaid, and he had the plaid shirt on. I love it when there's symmetry in the costume design. Yeah, do better next time, Dad. And he doesn't want to. He's saying man to man. Kid. You're gonna throw it in a daggone river. A little grown behind kissing. They need to be hiding the dice somewhere different in the game, okay? I'll be burying parts of that game all over in different places. Still a beautiful game though. Guys, we found a Christmas movie. This is a Christmas movie. Yay! I'm gonna start collecting a list of movies that have a Christmas scene and can technically be considered a Christmas movie. So now, if you don't want to watch a traditional Christmas movie, we can add Jumanji to the list. Mind you, she got a boyfriend who will lay hands and feet on him. Okay, she better go break up with that boy right quick in a hurry. Oh, look at her little swollen belly. Yay, you made it all the way through. Oh, this is how I categorize Teen Witch as a Halloween movie. Close enough. Teen Witch. Teen Witch. I love me some Teen Witch. No, I think they were. Okay, I'm gonna have to pause and rewind just for a second. I'll go get the presents. Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you. Maybe they had just moved and he was supposed to start like in the new year, but rather than starting the new year, like he was going to start in the new year, he was going to go on a trip and then start in the new year, but now they're like, no, we want you to start right now. That was good. Yay. Such a missed opportunity though to give us like a diverse casting in a sequel, because since it washed up on the shores of wherever that was, there it could have somehow gotten in the hands of someone else and been like diverse but you know, I guess they said, well, we tried to give you that with this Kevin Hart sequel. But what I was gonna say is that I think I would have liked, even with like the whole video game subtext of the new one, because I still haven't seen it. I just am aware that the premise is video game. I would have preferred them to have used because they were teens playing as like adult avatars. And I would have rather them have used at least one kid as an avatar, because there's so many games that you can play that have kid avatars. Borderlands, I think, has a couple of kid characters. The Last of Us in part 1, Ellie is literally still a kid. Like, there's so many games that use kids, even when they're shooting games. I just feel like the way that they did the new one, to me, I had no desire to see it because this was, and do we like The Rock and Company? You know, I mean, we, you know, was not trying to say it, but definitely was like throwing some shade yesterday because like I am not a Kevin Hart fan that and I like Jack Black and I like this Jack Black that's leaning into like the family friendly side, even though some of the movies are very bad, but Peaches is a bop, you know, so I love Peaches. But that would have been a good opportunity. And low key, if they were going to use that Jack Black, I would have liked to have seen one of the kids from Stranger Things because in 2017, before they were grown adults, they would have still been kids and it would have been the perfect vehicle to have one of them, especially because they're already in this movie that's like a thriller adventure franchise. It would have been perfect because it wouldn't have been them having to learn that. They definitely could have gone with heck, I don't always love Millie Bobby Brown, but they could even have Millie Bobby Brown in there. But Gatton would have been a perfect example of someone who I think would have done really well in that. And they could have even had like his character and Jack Black's character have been, because they kind of look alike in, you know, a little bit, like been like father-son avatars or something like that, like in the character of the games or something. And then had whoever, you know, Kevin Hart was supposed to be as like the black guy. And then Karen Gillan. The only person who we didn't need The Rock and Kevin Hart. But there's also who's also to say like, because I feel like they want to play with the idea of like Kevin Hart being like short, but he's still not a kid. I just feel like it just took away the family friendliness of it, you know. I just don't think we needed the Rock does not fit in to the Jumanji bubble, in my opinion, because the whole thing is you got these people who don't look like they could really survive in the jungle, trying to survive in the jungle. Yeah, I like the first one well enough, didn't touch this. This was so good. I mean, this was so good. It was so good. I'm so glad that we watched this, y'all. I like The Rock alone. Yeah, I can do him alone. Like Maui, hey, what can I say except you're welcome? And I even like Karen Gillan, but like also to have her kind of be like the hot one. And I just feel like there was a way to do the video game and it not have to be like so stereotypical, leaning into the tropes, so that we could keep it family friendly. Look, front to back. Quick question. How do you feel about the live action Moana? I don't understand why we're doing a lot. My assumption is it's something to do with whatever contract Dwayne has with Disney and him wanting to not allow anyone else to be that character. And I really wish that Disney would kind of stop with the live actions. What Little Mermaid withstanding, because you know how I feel about my girl Ariel. I love all iterations of Ariel, and I love Hallie as Ariel. But the live actions just aren't live actiony. And the idea that we're getting a live action Moana, and Moana just came out in 2015, and we're getting a live action Moana already, it just doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. It does not make sense whatsoever. We're getting a live action Moana before we get a live action Tiana. Make it make sense. The ensemble was strange. See, I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna ever cave and watch it. I might cave and watch it at some point, but like I just have no desire. I thought Snow White failure killed all their live action plans. I don't know, because Lilo and Stitch seems to be doing really good. Lilo and Stitch seems to be doing really, really good. Even though people are complaining about it. It was number one this past week. So people are going to take their kids because it's like me, like my friends were asking me, "Are you going to go see Lilo and Stitch?" And I was like, "No, I really don't plan to because I want to wait till it comes on streaming because there's some changes that I know that they made that I'm not 100% comfortable with, and I want to give my kids that they're getting old enough now a little bit of like backstory and nuance, so they don't just take everything at face value that they're seeing." And they've seen the animated. I could understand like parents whose kids haven't seen the animated, and this will be their first foray, and they're young enough to not ask all those questions. They're gonna take their kids to go see it. And it's hard because the kids, they like to go to the movies. They were asking, are we going to see Lilo? And I was honest. I said, there's some things in the remake that I'm not 100% comfortable. So we might wait till this one comes on streaming. But I'll find something else for you to go see at the movies because they love going to the movies. But yeah, live action Moana. I think it's honest. I think it's necessary. I mean, unnecessary. I don't think that we needed it yet. I don't think that we needed it yet. And I get it because I was a fan of the live actions for the expansion of the story, adding nuances to things and giving more representation to a certain point, but it is becoming too much. And I think when we're doing it for stories that have been 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, like Cinderella, I didn't love Beauty and the Beast, even with Audra McDonald's voice being in it. Little Mermaids to me, I'm so sorry. I know some people didn't like it. But Disney Bridgerton, it's got me locked down. Disney Bridgerton for the babies, I love it, I love it, I love it. And I could see why Halle Bailey's baby daddy was crashing out because her and Jonah's chemistry was chemistry. It was chemicalizing and everything. But I love that little baby Bridgerton. But when we're starting to get into all these live actions for like they talking about Frozen, I can't. Money bucks, yes, because it said no. I'm still waiting on the live action Fox in the House. Shut up. Can I whisper when I say I haven't seen it? I haven't seen it, and I love Will. But I was like, and when the sound when we hit the Disney Pandora playlist and the songs come on, I do like his Prince Ali. I might let that one ride. But anything else it's gotta be Robin. I can't. You said, oh yeah, I did see Little Mermaid, but it was I'm gonna tell you why I love it. I love it because it's Baby Bridgerton, and I love it because I've always loved the Little Mermaid, but I did always feel like the runtime was short. It was too short, and they didn't show. Even as a kid, I thought like Eric didn't really like. We didn't get a lot of love scenes between her and Eric, which was important, I guess, because it wasn't that Eric wasn't supposed to be the reason she went to sea. But I really love how they added the layer of her and Eric having similar interests and really liking each other. I like that. I saw it 4 times in the theater, y'all. I saw it 4 times in the theater. I'm so sorry. And you don't need to see it. That was a mistake for Will. Nobody can look at it. I mean, listen. I know people now are coming out the woodwork and talking about all the things that Robin Williams, like stealing jokes and things like that, and having writers, but delivery, acting. Listen, Mork is going to take it every time. Mork is going to take it for me every time. I love Mork. I love that little dorky alien. I do. They made some changes in the Little Mermaid that I wasn't feeling. I will say I can give it critique. And I didn't like the lighting. I wanted them to add more scenes to explain about because the backstory was the daughters being from the different seas, and I thought that that could have been mentioned. And then how do you explain the way that they look different? I think they could have even explained something like this, like something to give us the acknowledgement of like when he put them in the different oceans, they changed or something like that. So I didn't love that part. I didn't love the costume design in The Little Mermaid. I'll be honest. I can be honest about that. I didn't love the costume design. But I like the idea that Prince Eric doesn't have to be a natural born prince. And of course, it never would have taken away anything from Ariel because she was always one of the legit OG princesses because her daddy is the king. So I love that. So I felt like that did open up the room. And I did not like why am I forgetting his name? The man who played her daddy. Javier Bardem. Javier Bardem's his line delivery and his acting in it was not good. And I like Rob Marshall. I really like Rob Marshall. People are going to complain about Memoirs of a Geisha because it's not historically accurate, and they hired non-Japanese actresses to play Japanese characters. And I get it. I 100% get it. But I love that movie so bad. That movie is absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous, and direction and cinematography on that movie was stellar. And I just wish that Disney needs to stop hiring directors and not letting them direct. They need to let them direct. Yeah, so it's not. I mean, not that he did anything really, really horrible, but just there's like people saying like he stole jokes from people, and I think there's definitely there's a conversation I think could be had, because I think that there's a broader conversation about like how we borrow things from that are out in the lexicon, and we borrow them and they become our own, and we don't remember the first time that we heard them. I remember as a teacher, people used to tell that same lame time joke about having a student and the student's name was Adasia or Adasha, and the name was spelled or something like that. And it was like the same lame joke of trying to look at how difficult Black names are. And everybody had their own spin on it. And everybody claimed that they actually had a student by that name. You ain't know if I had no student by that name. And I feel like the same thing happens with comedians. I think the bigger nuance is, as a white comedian, if he was borrowing, especially if he was borrowing from any Black people, that's extremely problematic because he has the bigger platform. He's going to get things. But then it came out of the wash that a lot of people had people writing for them. So a lot of comedians had people on payroll. So I think that, nowadays where everything is about authenticity and it has to be from that person. But a lot of people had people on payroll. So, folks need to stop hating. They could never trash that man's legacy. Yeah, I mean, so I kind of feel like unless something really comes out that's just like, horrific that he did, so many people had people writing for them. So many people had people writing for them. It's going to come out eventually that Whoopi Goldberg had people writing for her stand-up, that Billy Crystal had people writing for him, and his timing can't be disputed. Exactly. The racial diversity with the sisters really didn't need to be explained for me. I treat it just like Whoopi and that man giving birth to that Asian boy and Cinderella. It just is what it is. Can we talk? If Brandy don't go, that man already probably got married. Did he get married to that girl? Paulo Montalban, did he get married? He ain't married that woman yet. If Brandy don't stop playing around and go get her husband, every time I see that man, he is looking at her like he is the love of her life and like she is the love of his life. she better stop playing around and go get her man, okay? Because that man is in love with her. I don't care. And they're supposed to be doing more performances as the Prince and Cinderella. Listen, do yourself a favor if you haven't already, and go listen to their updated version of So This Is Love. I'm gonna share it again. I shared it when it came up the first time on the channel. It was so good. You said, okay, your Wi-Fi won't let me be great on this device. I'm gonna head out with Atomic Christ. Have fun, y'all. See y'all another time. Bye, Maxine. Wait, I love Rafi. You're real bad. Okay, bye. Smaller comedians write for bigger comedians. That's the business. Exactly. I can't wait to see that. They're gonna do more. They're filming, I think, the newest one, and I saw behind the scenes footage of them together. Brandy better go get her man. She better go get her husband. Okay. All right, we have dissolved into random conversation. So it is 10:30. It is definitely time to peace out. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Darfalina, Maxine, Gory Tiger. Thank you for showing up. My niecey poo, thank you for showing up tonight. I really appreciate it. Next week, we're going to watch The Craft on Wednesday. And I am not 100% sure on Throwback Thursday. So let me know. I'll send out a poll. I'll send out a poll. Throwback Thursday. Yes, that is what we will do. I feel like I had something in mind and now I can't remember what it was and I didn't write it down. So that's my bad. Completely. But I'll send out a poll and we'll figure out Throwback Thursday. But Wednesday, we're watching The Craft. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Until next time. Toodles. In the words of Blue Ivy Carter.